Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. You know, recently I was meeting with a married couple and they've been having some problems in their relationship. He's the kind of guy that his needs are that he needs respect, he needs appreciation, and he needs consistency and stability. And she's the kind of wife that her needs are that she needs to feel loved and appreciated. She needs to know that her husband sees her and that he validates her experience. One of the reasons they're in the trouble that they're in is because both of them are unwilling and at times I think unable to meet the needs of their spouse. Have you ever been there where you spent more time focusing on what you weren't getting rather than spending focused on the time of what you could be providing to your spouse? I think that's the big challenge. So often our human nature is such that we are always looking at what am I getting? What are they providing for me? And we don't take the time to really ask ourselves, what am I providing? How am I meeting the needs of my spouse? Rather than looking at how they're meeting my needs, how am I meeting their needs? I really can't complain about my wife not meeting my needs if I'm not consistently meeting her needs. And so therein lies the great challenge for us as married couples, to be constantly concerned about meeting the needs of our spouse. You know, if I spend all my time thinking about me and what I'm getting, what it really means is I have less time to think about my wife. Or if you spend all your time thinking about yourself, you probably have less time to think about your spouse and what they need. And I would encourage you to take some time out and really think about, how have I missed it? Have I ignored a need? Maybe I just missed it. I didn't mean to, but I just missed it. Or maybe I have willfully ignored needs that's contributing to problems in my relationship. But let me also say a word to those of you who are meeting the needs of your spouse. You're doing the best you can, but your spouse is not meeting yours. You're all in, but they're all out, it seems. I would encourage you to still meet their needs, because our responsibility as a spouse is to meet the needs of my spouse, regardless if they're doing it or not. And I believe that when we're meeting the needs of our spouse, but our spouse isn't meeting ours, that's when God steps in and he goes to work on your spouse for you. So you can't change your spouse. You can't go to work on changing them. That's God's job. Your job is to control your actions. And I really do believe that when we are genuine in our motives to meet the needs of our spouse, but they aren't reciprocating that, that's when God shows up and he goes to work on your spouse, but he also shows up and he honors your commitment, but he also sustains you during these tough marital moments. But let me also talk to that couple or that husband or that wife that's in an abusive relationship. If you're being physically, emotionally, psychologically, sexually abused, then this whole discussion changes for you. Because if you're being abused, then we need you to seek a third party to help you either through that situation or possibly get out of that situation. And if you're the abuser who's watching this video right now, we need you to stop immediately and seek help, because if you don't, the damage will be done and it'll be far too late to salvage anything that you have for your marital relationship. Now, for those of us who aren't in those domestic violence situations, here's my challenge for all of you and for myself as well. Why don't we take the next 7 days and specifically focus on a need that our spouse has been asking us to fulfill and be very intentional about meeting that need, and watch what happens to them, but also watch what happens to you as well. I bet you the results are going to surprise you. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hope it was helpful. See you next time.